out there, and welcome once again to Jubilee USA.
Is everything okay, Joe? Everything all set up?
Sure, Slim, sure.
You tell them it's a Jubilee USA?
Yeah, I already have.
And we originated at the Jewel Theater, right in Springfield, Missouri, right in the heart of the Ozark.
Well, I was going to.
Well, I just want to be sure that everything goes right tonight. Is everybody here?
I'm sure they are, Slim.
Did you see the Promenaders?
Yes, Slim.
Has Doc Martin got his steel guitar tuned up?
Yes, Slim.
Hey, Tabby West, is she all set?
Yes, she is, Slim.
How about Jimmy Driftwood?
Yes, Slim. Yes.
And Shug Fisher and Leroy van Dyke, they made it all right?
Don't worry, Slim.
I'm not worried. I'm just checking. How about Tex Ritter?
I saw Tex backstage there.
Well, that's fine. I guess everybody's here. Is the cameras turned on?
Well, I hope so.
Have I forgotten anything, Joe?
Well, just the star of the show.
The star of the show? Who's that?
Slim Wilson.
Well, where is he?
Right here.
Oh, that's
Whoa.
me. Okay. It's a wonder of wonders, like the magic of spring. How I met you, I love you, and it's changed everything. But the greatest of wonders, just to think it could be. My reason for living is because you love me. Since I know that you need me and your love I can feel, my life has a meaning and my faith is so real. Love is answered love's question, for at last I can see. My reason for living is because you love me. Boys, in your love there's a rightness that no words can explain, like believing in heaven or that sun follows rain. I see goodness and beauty that I never did see. My reason for living is because you love me. Since I know that you need me and your love I can feel, my life has a meaning and my faith is so real. Love has answered love's question, for at last I can see. My reason for living is because you love me. My reason for living is because you love me.
Jubilee, and as you probably heard from his rather worried conversation, he's got a whole lot of talent on hand to back him up tonight, too.
Joe.
Now, just a minute, Slim. I haven't introduced this next act yet.
Later, Joe, later. Can't you see I've got my hands full trying to make this thing go right tonight? I've got to go over here and help Mr. L.D. Keller and the Jubilee Promenaders right now. Hey, comedy, now, living around today and join the hand gone again. Hey, river trail along that line, and you look at it behind, hey, let's get right on home, and you bring your leave mine alone. Hey, element, left there, element, dog. Go right and left in the palm star, and if I come on out too far, I walk along down right and start. Now shoot the star and heaven for a right and left for the next pretty girl. Hey, palm star, if I come on out too far. Hey, shoot the star, find you won't take a little hand promenade, along your promenade, go round and just poke on the right and good. First up the bound swing, go round and around with a pretty name. Hey, you got it to the right, ring you serve four. I'll leave the lady where she go on to the next, you serve three. Swing it girl in the middle of the floor, twice around and then the more now on to the next, serve four. Go once around and leave the floor. Check this one around the back, read two little holes side chicks. Back to the back, way now, sit back down, call, two little holes, they the wall. And a few little hobo side and back to the back way. Now six down out across hall, two little hobo stay along. Well, and let's put the old left hand here. And now you're right and now you're wrong, and I meet your honey in a comedy along your promenade, go round way. When you get there, everybody's way. Now former and great big rain, raise hand raise. First up for rip and snort, down tender and a couple more short. Let it go right, let it go wrong, and right back home where you belong. Second up for rip and snort, down tender and a couple more short. Let it go right, let it go wrong, and right back home where you belong. Well, and let that corner lady come back home in the promenade. You promenade right on, go and call the river, and no more. Keep my force tonight. All that going, stay and die. Man, I'm as spooked as a woodpecker in a petrified forest. That was Mr. L.D. Keller and the Jubilee Promenaders, and right now, let me see, there's something else I got to do around here.
Now, wait a minute.
Now, wait, Joe.
Look, there's something I've got to do around here.
Please, Joe, I can't.
Look,
later.
I'm going to tie you down. I'm going to do it, though, because the way you're going to out here, you'll never get it done. You and everyone looking in can use this next 60 seconds to stay here.
Please. Well, it's awful nice of Red Foley to let me take over his spot on the Jubilee tonight, and while he takes sort of a busman's holiday of making personal appearances around the country, next Tuesday he's at the Rubber Bowl in Akron, Ohio. While on Wednesday and Thursday, Red and the whole Jubilee gang will be at Harrington, Delaware for the Harrington Fair. And I hope to join him with the band up there. And speaking of the band, Eulin, that's short for Doc. Eulin Martin, our steel guitar player, has worked up a real fine arrangement on the Alamo. Now, I'll get him started right now. Here he is, Doc Martin. Doc Martin, doing a real fine job on the steel guitar there, Doc.
Well, thank you, Slim. That's about the nicest thing you ever said about me.
Well,
and kind of makes me feel appreciated.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much. Now, you can...
What's the matter?
Well, don't just sit there, Doc. Get up. You know I got to play this next song here. Oh, thank you. Thank you very much.
That's the way you feel about it.
Oh, thank you. Now, it's just not that I don't think Doc is as good as a steel guitar man, but I tell you, I want to fix up the prettiest introduction I can for this next act, because here's one of the prettiest acts on the stage right here, Miss Tabby West. Now, that was in the key of C, wasn't it, boy?
Here's that long...
Tabby West. A real fine job, Tabby. You know, as soon as I can unwind myself from this bit of electrified plumbing, I've got to get my left-handed fiddle and go over there and help out an old friend of mine who's really coming to his own in recent months. You know, we've always had a real warm feeling here in the hills for folk songs, and lately the entire country has been discovering just how wonderful they are. Of course, one of the chief reasons is the old minstrel himself from Snowball, Arkansas, RCA Victor's Jimmy Driftwood.
Rough old man, mean as he can be. He knocked me down with his right hand and walked all over me. Get out of the way, bro, Joe Clark, hide that jug of wine. Get out of the way, bro, Joe Clark, he's no friend of mine. the biggest bum in town, till Andrew Johnson appointed him the marshal of the town. He's full of wine, full of breeze, you ought to hear brag. But all good rebels know that he's low down. Get out of the way, bro, Joe Clark, hide that jug of wine. Get out of the way, bro, Joe Clark, he's no friend of mine. Comes to my door, he treats me like a pup. He runs my bird dog on the floor and drinks my whiskey. He puts his banjo in my hand, tells me what to play, and dances with my pretty little girl till the break of day. Get out of the way, bro, Joe Clark, hide that jug of wine. Get out of the way, bro, Joe Clark, he's no friend of mine.
I'm mighty glad he let me help him through that number. You know, Red told me to kind of look after things, and I'm a kind of a fellow that wants to do what the boss man says.
And I'm awful glad to hear you say that, because the boss man told me to tell you that it's about time for everyone out there to pay attention to this.
All right, cover me and stick the gun in my ribs.
Boy, I just don't know where all the time's gone to. I've got to change clothes here like a big TV star should. Shug? Hey, Shug Fisher, come out here. Yeah. What's the matter, Clem? Well, you know, I was supposed to change clothes a minute ago, and I forgot, so would you take over for a while for me?
You just try me, boy.
Now, I'll be right back.
I bet he will, too.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, Hold it! Hold it! I'm not going to talk about getting married tonight. I'm going to talk about this traffic situation, about trying to stay alive. You know something? I will walk down here tonight. I walk down to the theater, and I cross the street, and a car bumped me like that, you know. Well, of course, it scared me, and I jumped about 10 feet high, and I said, "Hey, are you blind?" He stuck his head out the window and said, I hit you, didn't I? You know something? I've come to collusion. That's the hard part right in there that I've come to. No, I've come to collusion that these automobile drivers nowadays are playing a game. Yes, sir, and I've figured it out. It's golf. Automobile golf. Now, first they have a couple of 3 automobile cocktails, you know. That's a glass of gasoline with a nut in it. And then they hunt for some busy street, and the game is on. And the idea of the game is they use automobiles for putters and the pedestrians for golf balls. And then the idea is to see how many strokes it takes the driver to knock a pedestrian into the nearest sewer. They have rules, too. One rule is while one car's knocking a pedestrian around, no other car's allowed to interfere. It's just like I saw him first, so I'll get him. And they usually do. If they don't kill him, they'll cripple him up to where they wish he was dead. That folks used to walk because they were afraid to ride in automobiles. Now they ride in them because they're afraid to walk. You know, I hear, though, that the next year's cars is going to be a little different. The improvement. You're going to have a long license plate because they're getting so many cars that need a lot of numbers, and it's going to be under the front fender. That's so when you knock a pedestrian down, he's got something to read while he's waiting for the ambulance. You know, I'd like to get serious here for just a second. For all you little boys and girls here in the theater and you young'uns watching in on your TV set, be extra careful. Only cross the street where and when you're supposed to. Everybody obeys the traffic laws, and then the death rate's going to go down. It'll stay down. Now, us grown-ups supposed to have more sense, but we ain't. You know, there's a lady jaywalking yesterday. I seen her. And it wasn't none of my business, but I asked her why she did it. She said, well, she just didn't think, and she figured that her guardian angel was always with her. Well, that's a good thought. But I told her, I said, when you cross the street into today's traffic, you watch out for yourself because that angel can fly. That's it. You know, I'll wait for you. That's the truth. You're a good argument. Yeah. I'm going to get into it right here because there's a guy standing there, and I said to him, I said, what does it mean when a woman driver here in Springfield sticks out her hand? He looked at me, and he said, are you a stranger here? I said, well, sort of, kind of, in a way. He said, well, it could mean a lot of things. And I said, well, like what? He said, well, she could be waving at someone. She could be knocking the ashes off of her cigarette. Or she could be admiring her new manicure, showing her wristwatch, going to turn left, going to turn right, going to back up, going to go forward. I said, well, wait a minute. What do you do in a case like that? He said, if you want to live, boy, take up the first alley you come to.
Fine, Shug, real fine. I'm just real fine. I'm back now.
Yeah.
Don't you have to go someplace?
To Hollywood.
Oh, that's right. You're going to make out the movie out there, aren't you?
Yes, sir, sure will. Captain Buffalo, and it's a real privilege and pleasure for me that John Ford's directing.
That's for Warner Brothers, isn't it?
It sure is.
You know, I sure wish I could make a Western sometime.
Yeah.
I envy those Western stars. They ride up the canyon into a sunset, jump off of their horse, pick up a guitar, and start singing to some pretty girl.
Who's your favorite star?
Oh, I'm a wife, of course.
Your wife? Well, natural. I mean, Western star.
Well, sir, I can't think of anyone I like any better than the one that's going to sing while I change clothes again.
Who's that?
Ladies and gentlemen, here he is, Tex Ritter.
Burning sand, burning sand, burning sand. See how the land is hotter than Hades. Seems like my lady's way out there. Summer sky, summer sky, summer sky, summer sky. I wonder why I can't find my baby. Could it be maybe she's out there? The breeze is crying out she didn't exist, but I can still remember when we kissed. My soul keeps on recalling that sad day I up and rode away. Burning sand, burning sand, burning sand. See how my hand is shaking, I'm reeling. I got a feeling she's out there. Burning sand, burning sand. The breeze is crying out she didn't exist, but I can still remember when we kissed. My soul keeps on recalling that sad day I up and rode away. Burning sand, burning sand, burning sand. See how my hand is shaking, I'm reeling. I got a feeling she's out there. Burning sand, burning sand. She's out there. Burning sand, burning sand, burning sand.
Oh! Hey, that was Tex Ritter. That was Tex Ritter.
Hey, Slim, aren't you ready yet?
Almost.
Well, you're supposed to say something here.
Well, I know.
Well, hurry it up.
Well, in a minute, Joe.
Come
Don't play
on.
in a minute.
Hello?
Flushes out bandits tomorrow on most of these stations.
Let's see, there's something I forgot to do. Don't worry, Red, I'll think of it in just a minute. Oh, it's next week. Yeah, that's what it is. Next week, friends, Eddie Arnold will have the pleasure of headlining our show, and he'll have Jimmy Dickens and Rocky Starr to help him out. And I'll still be around, I hope, to lead the band and take care of any other assorted chores that come my way. One of the happiest chores I've got to do tonight is to introduce the boy that we're real proud of to call part of our Jubilee family. He's got a smile as bright as sunlight reflecting from Lake Taneycomo. Leroy van Dyke.
It'll take a long time to forget you, my dear. A long, long time I'll regret you're not here. A long time remember now I had you so near. It takes a long, long time to forget.
Well, boy, we made it through that 30 minutes. And the next 30 will be just as entertaining. Now, I'm looking forward to keeping things wound up if I can keep myself wound up until after station identification.
His news beats the world. His assignment danger. Join reporter Dane Clark on Deadline for Action tomorrow over the ABC television network.